Hello, my name is Marcia Johnson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Together with my grandnieces and nephew, Allie, Ashley, and Ryan, we are Marcia's Crafts. I was going through my stamp sets the other day, and I saw several that I hadn't used yet, and I thought, it's about time. So anyway, I came up with this His Light / stylish Christmas card. That's what we're going to do today. Let's get started. All right, first let's bring in our Stamparatus. First thing we're going to stamp is our background. So this is the sheet music stamp, and the way I do it is to put down a sheet of paper with my magnet. Where are my magnets? There they are. Keep these magnets away from each other. When they snap together, it's tough. So anyway, put a piece of paper down, put the magnet down, and then I decided where I wanted my stamp to go. And actually, I believe it's upside down, but it doesn't matter because it's just going to be a background. And then what I did was I put a couple of pieces of double-sided removable tape down here, and I went ahead and stamped my image. And now what I'm going to do is take my piece of paper and put it exactly where I want my image to stamp, and then lay it down and press it into that double-sided tape. Okay, let's ink up my background image in Sahara Sand. And then flip it over and press all over. Let's take a look. That looks very good. So that's our background image. And like I said, it was upside down. Okay. Actually, if you put duct tape around them, it makes it way easier to handle. And also it prevents them from killing each other and cracking when they do click together like that. Okay, let me just wipe that off with a Shammy so I don't get everything dirty. Next, we're going to do our inside of the card. It's the same size. I'll take away this sheet of paper, and I'm going to bring in this stamp. It is also from, well, this one actually is from the Blizzard. It's the little flourish. And then sentiment is from His Light. It's May this season be blessed with the true meaning of Christmas. I've already lined them up. Actually, that's not the way I want them to go. I want them to go here. I like to have my paper up in the corner. It stays better there. You don't have to worry about it. There. Ink up our sentiment and our little flourish. Go ahead and stamp those down. Press more firmly when you're close to the hinges here. That looks good. That's finished. We're now done with the Sahara Sand. Okay, next, well, I think I want to do the leaf first. So that's going to be in Shaded Spruce. We'll bring back the image, our background image. Put down your magnet, bring in the Shaded Spruce, stamp it down. And I actually have a pre-printed figure of how this is going to look. And then I'm going to take my small piece of scratch paper. I'm going to stamp the Shaded Spruce down at one end of that. There. Okay, next we'll do the Merry Merlot. That with the Stamparatus this way. Bring back in our main image. Put your magnet down. Ink up the Merry Merlot and the poinsettia. Stamp it down. Then we're going to also take that piece of scratch paper and put it so that the poinsettia will go in this space. Ink it up again and stamp it down. Might have been better to do the poinsettia first, but oh well. You can see they don't overlap, so that's fine. I'm going to bring in our main image one last time, and we're going to do the outside sentiment, and well, two outside sentiments actually. We're going to do Rejoice up here and Christ is Born down here. So let's bring our card back in, and this we're going to emboss. So what you do first is, when you're embossing, use this little thing called an Embossing Buddy. It's got powder in it, and you just spread it over where you're going to emboss. And what it does is it puts powder down, and in case you have fingerprints or something on your paper or static or something, it prevents the embossing powder from going places that you don't want it to go. So for this, we use VersaMark, and use a very juicy VersaMark pad. See, my VersaMark pad is a little dirty, but that actually turns out to be a good thing, because then you can kind of see it. And we're going to be putting embossing powder over it, so you're not going to see any color. The only time you would worry is if you were using clear embossing powder, and we're using gold. So let's down where it's near the hinges, press down extra. Okay, now we're going to open it up, and I'm going to take a look, because the VersaMark is kind of shiny, so I can see if I got a decent impression, and it looks like I did. So good. We're finished with the Stamparatus. Be careful that you don't touch anything where you put that VersaMark. I'm bringing in my embossing powder, and I'm going to spread it over the places that I stamped in VersaMark. See? And then flick it off. And then I blow it a little bit too. Make sure you don't have any, make sure you have a dry mouth when you do that. And we'll do the other end. Make sure you get that embossing powder over everything you stamped. Then again, flick it. And then again, I blow a little bit. Okay, so this part, next part, is my very, very favorite thing, I think, in paper crafting. It's embossing. Use this heat tool. The heat tool from Stampin' Up! Has two settings, well, three: off, and then the first one, which is low, and it's just for like drying ink or something like that, and then the high is for embossing. We'll let it heat up for a second. Then pick up your paper, being sure not to touch any of the powder, and put your heat tool to the paper, not too close, and wait till it, can you see that? It's just like magic. It turns from powder into shiny, embossed wonderfulness. I hope you can see that. We'll do the same thing for the Rejoice. Usually just start at one end, and then when it starts to go, it never gets old. I don't know. Little miracle every time. And you just look to be sure that everything is shiny. If anything is dull or powdery, you do it again. I just love it. We have one more thing to stamp, which is our envelope. And to do that, I'm just going to stamp a little swirl on the back in Sahara Sand. You could emboss it if you wanted to, so do it in VersaMark and then emboss it, but I'm just going to do it in Sahara Sand. And I'm going to use the same flourish that I used for the inside sentiment. I'm going to take it off my Stamparatus plate. Okay, mount that little swirl on a block, ink it up in Sahara Sand, and then just stamp it on the back of the envelope. There you go. It's just a little something. I guess we could do it on, well, let's do it on the front also. Why not? We'll just put it over here. There. Okay, now it's time to assemble. First thing we would do is cut out the poinsettia and the leaves with paper snips. It's not that difficult to cut it out. I cut the leaves separately from each other, and then cut the poinsettia. And through the miracle of YouTube, There we go, already done. Then I wanted to shape this poinsettia a little bit. So what I did was take my bone folder and then just curl the leaves. Kind of like, you know, that ribbon that you make curly by doing the same thing. And then I'm gonna take a piercing mat, or you could just use your hand or something. Put that down. I want the center to kind of go the other way so that my leaves stand up a little bit. So you can just, I don't know, either maybe even just push it with your thumb and just try to get that to the center to go down, which makes the leaves pop up a little bit. I mean, the petals pop up a little bit. Okay, that's that. Let's bring our pieces in. First thing I will do is put the inside in. Put a little bit of glue on the back here. Handy to have it going the right direction. And put that down. May this season be blessed with the true meaning of Christmas. Very nice. Then on the front, oh, I did forget one little thing. I'm going to take this lovely pen and we're going to go around all the edges in gold. It just makes it stand out a little bit. You could also VersaMark around the edges, put it in embossing powder, and then use the heat gun and emboss it, but I think this is a little easier. It's kind of like when you ink the edges, it doesn't have to be all uniform. It's fine if it's not. And we're going to do one more thing with that pen. I've already done a bunch of them, but you can take pearls or rhinestones or anything else, and you just go over them with this pen, and they are golden embellishments. And they're actually pretty shiny when they dry too. So put those to the side. Okay, once that's dry, go ahead and attach this to the front of your card. Again, the nice thing about glue is it gives you a little bit of time to straighten things out. Now you could have moved the leaves and stamped them again right down on the front of your card, but I kind of like separating them. So I cut them out and I'm just going to put them down where I want them to go. I kind of like these up here and this little one down here. And then you take the poinsettia and just add glue. You could add a dimensional if you wanted, but I think it has enough dimension just from what we did with the petals. And then we'll put it over the other one. And if it's off a little bit, doesn't really matter. This gives it a little bit more dimension. Stick that down. And then to finish off our card, take my paper piercer and I'll take 3 of these little pearls that I've colored and put them over those little white circles. You could do 2 little ones and a bigger one if you want, but I think the 3 little ones are just fine. And there you go. Rejoice, Christ is born. May this season be blessed with the true meaning of Christmas. I think it's a very nice Christmas card. Thanks very much for stopping by. If you'd like to purchase any of these products, you could do so at marciascrafts.stampinup.net. We would love to have your business. And if you like the card, you could give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Hope to see you again sometime. Merry Christmas. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.